It is 35 minutes past 7, and it's time for us to now have a look at the newspapers. This is Hope at Dawn.
All right, and we start off with the Daily Nation.
Yes.
That is where we start off and just getting to see what is being reported.
Yes.
Usually say it's never a dull moment in Kenya because a lot
It's always happening.
And especially when it is a weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend the people are traversing, especially the political class,
Yes.
visiting different parts of the country. All right. And so the Daily Nation, here they are reporting a smiling President William Ruto. And then they go with the headline, "From Hustlers to Dynasties." and I don't know why, but I saw him speak yesterday, and I thought, I hope we have creative editors in the newsroom. Because for real, this is the exact thing that I thought.
In your head.
In my head, I was like, this guy, when he was campaigning, he was against the dynasties, if you remember.
Yeah,
and he was very much pro hustlers and all. So yesterday he was speaking and he said he has spoken to President Uhuru Kenyatta, he has spoken to Raila Odinga, and now he has spoken to Gideon Moi. You see, those are the three very famous families in Kenya.
Yeah.
The so-called quote-unquote dynasties. And he said, I have spoken to the three on how to take this country forward.
Hey.
No, I'm glad. At least I was not alone.
You are not alone. In that thinking, in that perspective,
exactly. Yeah, so the Daily Nation, they have picked up that and they say from hustlers to dynasties. And the president says he will woo more opposition figures. So Ruto changes tune, they report. I have held conversations with Raila Odinga. I have engaged my brother Uhuru Kenyatta. I have engaged many, including Gideon Moi. Recently, I will continue to engage all the leaders so that we transform this country into a first world country in our lifetime, because it is possible. And there are, of course, photos there of President Uhuru Kenyatta, former Prime Minister Raila, and former Senator Gideon Moi. He swept to power on a campaign anchored on attacking prominent political families. He blamed for the suffering of a majority Kenyans. But in the quest to craft a winning re-election strategy, President Ruto is quoting the backing of the so-called dynasties.
What?
So it's a story that you can read. It's on pages 4 and 5 inside the Daily Nation. Still on the front page, school riots pain. There is fury over hefty fees. And of course, parents are here complaining, and parents complain that unruly students have become a cash cow for schools that are imposing exorbitant fines on all learners to finance reconstruction after destruction of property during riots. They are also faulting the schools over the hefty financial burden imposed on them as the school managers capitalize on strikes to make a killing, with additional demands for payment of all fee arrears prior to readmission of the students. It's a story that you can read on page 8 inside the Daily Nation. Should I say I have experienced this firsthand? My nephew, where he schools, once upon, was it earlier this term, they also went on the rampage. And so the amount they were supposed to go back with, and you clear any fee balance that you could be having.
What?
It's
that serious.
That serious. So you can read that story also inside the Nation, page 8. And then Justice, family of Kenyan murdered by British soldier takes fight for justice to Britain. When Esther Njoki landed at London's Heathrow Airport on Sunday, she carried more than a suitcase. She carried her aunt's memory and the family's unrelenting demand for justice for the killing of of Agnes Wanjiru in Nanyuki. This was in 2012. It's a story that is covered on page 2. And Courier Farms, now the new drug mules. Tax agents at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport were going about their usual checks sometime in mid-June, trying to stop cheats using courier services to avoid paying Caesar's dues when a slightly damaged package landed on their desk. Owing to the damage, one could partially see what was inside, and the contents were suspicious. All right. So what did they find? Read that story. It's covered on page 7 inside the Daily Nation. Then sports news, it's a Kenyan affair at Safari Sevens, but bigger tests await the two teams. Read that story on the sports section of the Daily Nation this morning. And I think we can end it at that in as far as the Daily Nation is concerned. And finally, golfer Jay Santhu shines at Vet Lab, seals slot in Kenya Open Championship.
All right, beautiful. And now to go down to the Standard, I'm seeing the top story here is release them with the Ugandan flag here. For nearly 2 weeks, the families of activists Bob Njage and Nicholas Oyo have endured a tormenting silence after their abduction in Uganda, with both Kenyan and Ugandan governments offering little clarity. Fears are mounting that the two Free Kenya movement leaders are being held incommunicado by Ugandan security forces, and their disappearance has sparked outrage among civil society groups who see it as part of a growing pattern of cross-border repression in East Africa. And I also see here Roslyn Ochieng, who is Oyo's mother, here saying it is very painful when you don't know where your child is. We really want to appeal to the government to help us bring the two home. I've not had anything at all. There is nothing. We are in darkness. That's the pain of a mother, Roslyn, who is crying out that justice will be served and that these two will be brought back. And I'm also seeing Professor Fred Ogola, who is the governance expert and activist here, saying that it is impossible that the Kenyan government does not know where the two are. Their passports were stamped as they crossed the border, so there is no way that they do not know. It's rather to say that our Kenyan government is indeed responsible for these two and should follow up on the same. Kofi Atinda is saying here, the day we were to meet this Bobby Wine was when the two were taken. We had lunch and were supposed to head and meet Bobby Wine within the same hour. As we were repairing our car, a van came with men, some in uniform, some not, and one woman, and some were also armed. So that's a story covered on the Standard this morning. And I also see some of the stories that have also been covered on the Standard. I'm seeing Paul Onditi, visual artist, explores climate change, political instability in a fresh exhibition. Another story here that has been covered on the Standard is how to prepare your child for a new sibling. I don't know if you prepared. I'm only washtua too. You just shocked them.
You prepare them.
You prepare. How do you prepare?
You tell them.
Yeah.
And especially when the tummy is big, so you're telling them very soon. Yeah, you will have.
Yeah.
You'll have a playmate.
Yes.
Yeah. Very soon.
And do they ask questions like, how is it that
as they usually
is in the stomach?
You open it's a Pandora's box. So be ready.
Well.
All the questions. Yeah, so hata mimi nilikuwa hapo. So how?
What do you mean? Where I think I will start having answers before the questions come. You know, just to be prepared.
Also, the good thing with now such things, it's better when they hear it from you.
Yes,
than the outside world. You see, the outside world is, brutal, as they say.
Yes.
So for you will, of course, you will know the language, the tone, how you will even share the news with them.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting because just yesterday when I and my husband came to church, and you know, our little boy now is 7 months, so he's big. And then now there's a friend of my husband who has a daughter. I think it's probably 5-7 years. So she came and was saying hi to the baby, and then that girl asked me, alitoka wapi?
Yes.
And I just said, kwa Mungu. I was caught unawares. Like, because I think hana sibling.
Yeah.
So hajaona, you know, a small baby. So I was like, alitoka wapi? But anyway, the Standard today is telling you how to prepare your child for a new sibling. And lastly, it's interesting here, how to stop anxiety from ruining your life. I think that is just in line with what we were talking about today, this morning. And I also see on the Health and Science pull out this morning covering when babies are born with organs outside the body. That is actually a reality happening. A mother's defiance and love give new life to a child born with a rare, life-threatening defect. And after years of painful scans, stigma, and countless hospital visits, her courage finally pays off with a life-saving surgery. When babies are born with organs outside the body, I cannot even imagine what that would be for a mother who was just waiting to hold their bundle of joy. But we thank God for technology. We thank God for the advancement in the medical industry, because now there's a way to salvage that kind of situation. You can read more on the same on the Health and Science pullout. And that's it for the Standard.
All right. We can check quickly what is being reported inside the Daily Nation. The good thing with not the Daily Nation, but
Business Daily. Yes.
Yeah, this one is in as far as how the economy is performing, how the different sectors are performing. And so Kenya loans in yuan surge as dollar share cut by 840 billion shillings. Proportion of dollar loans set to fall below 50%. Currency swaps to ease treasury's debt repayment burden. That's on the front page and page 2 inside the Business Daily. And the UK's Actis Indian real estate giant exit Mivida Homes. It's on the front page and also page 2. I also see stockbroker nominees join NSE to ease tensions. And so NSE, Nairobi Securities Exchange, has appointed individuals recommended by stockbrokers to fill board vacancies in a move expected to further ease tensions between the bourse and traders. And then the Court of Appeal has set aside a High Court order directing Hako Industries to refund Mombasa-based tycoon Ashok Doshi 15 million shillings that he paid 24 years ago in exchange for non-prosecution over the sale of counterfeit big ballpoint pens. It's inside the Business Daily. And an opinion here by Karo Mosioka, which is on page 9. The Johannesburg High Court has set a thoughtful precedent for directors of state-owned agencies. We can come after you for being asleep at the governance wheel. That in details on page 9 inside the Business Daily, and a lot is being covered, and so you can grab your favorite copy, read what is being reported, just knowing what is happening in our nation, the different sectors of our economy as well. And we usually say, as believers, we not only just get to know what is happening, but also we get to know how to pray for our nation, how to pray for our counties, how to pray for our constituencies, for our economy as well. How are we able to pray for the same? So you can grab your copy today. Right about now, this is 12 minutes to the top of the hour. We pave way for the VOD, video of the day.